One of our top alumni business leaders, Bill Douglas, joins us today as the Convocation speaker. Bill has contributed greatly to Coca-Cola being one of the most recognized brands in the world. He and his team expanded Coke's reach into many European countries and opened the Russian market in the early 1990s, setting up new joint business ventures and building new bottling plants in Moscow, St. Petersburg, Ukraine, and the Baltics. He has described this time as being part of a six-man entrepreneurial SWAT team. Bill has held many executive positions in his 30-year career in the Coca-Cola system, including controller of the Coca-Cola beverages and CFO in two divisions, Coca-Cola Enterprises, Inc. and Coca-Cola HBC, which is based in London. Other senior roles abroad have included assignments in Madrid, Oslo, and the other Athens, Greece. As Executive Vice President of Supply Chain at Coca-Cola Enterprises, he now divides his time between Atlanta and Europe. We are very fortunate to have Bill as part of the Terry College family. A 1983 Terry graduate, Bill has stayed actively involved with his alma mater and was honored with the college's Distinguished Alumni Award in 2011. Bill and his wife Lisa have two children. His son Will is a 2011 Terry graduate, and his daughter Ella is a graduate of Wake Forest. Bill and Lisa live on a working farm near Athens in Bishop, Georgia. Please join me in welcoming Bill Douglas.
Thank you, Ben. Good afternoon. I'd like to be the first to congratulate the Terry College Business Class of 2015. Each of you, individually and collectively, have put in countless hours of hard work and effort to be here today, and you should be proud of all that you've done to earn your diplomas. To the family members and friends here today, congratulations to each of you as well. Like the graduates, you've put forth years of effort to help mold these students, and their achievements today is a validation and recognition of your encouragement and support. And a special congratulations to my good friend Dean Ayers, leading his first graduation today here at Terry. I'm confident that this will be one of many events in a long and successful career. I'm honored to be here today. After Ben asked me to speak, I immediately began to think back upon my time here at UGA. When I graduated back in 1983, we had some 3,600 students in the business school. Today, there are about 6,500 students learning at 4 separate campuses. We've come a long way from the original vision for Terry College, which was found back in 1912 as the School of Commerce, making it the first business school in the South. Today, Terry houses several nationally recognized programs, including risk management and insurance, real estate, as well as the J.M. Tull School of Accounting. In addition, we have some highly regarded graduate tracks, including the Masters of Accountancy, Masters of Marketing Research, and the MBA programs. Through the Hope Scholarship's goal of keeping the best and brightest high school students in the state of Georgia, admission into Terry and UGA overall is far more difficult than it has been at any point in the past. Now, while I know that standardized testing has changed a bit over the last 30 years, keep in mind that today's first-year UGA student now has a high school GPA of 3.9 and an average GPA of some 1290. This is 25% higher than it was back in 1983. So keep in mind that we often hear how alumni help students, and this is obviously true. But through your time here and your accomplishments, you have increased the value of my degree and the value of thousands of Terry and UGA alumni that have gone before you. And for that, thank you. I recognize that there are many differences between students then and now, but I was likely in a very similar position as many of you sitting out here today. I was a middle-class kid from Warner Robins who held a number of jobs through my college career, ate a lot of ramen noodles, and graduated with student loans. Like most accounting majors at the time, I was focused on getting a job at the time with one of the Big 8 accounting firms. Today, that would be one of the Big 4, but that's another story for another day. However, I do think that our motivations were somewhat different then than they are now. I graduated early from school and married my wife, Lisa, right after, literally the day after my last exam. Back in the 1980s, we just wanted to get on with our adult lives. And today, as the father of 2 millennials, I feel confident in saying that may have changed a bit. But what hasn't changed over time is the fact that the things that you know today are the most critical tools in your toolbox. Your most valuable achievement in the past few years, whether you recognize it yet or not, isn't the experiences that you've had or the friends that you've made. It's the knowledge that you've acquired. This knowledge will serve as the foundation for the journey that you're beginning today. If you're smart, and we all know that you are, you will continue to challenge the things that you know to be true and turn that knowledge into true wisdom. As Albert Einstein once said, wisdom is not a product of schooling, but the lifelong attempt to acquire it. And that's wonderful, because there's a critical difference between wisdom and knowledge. Knowledge is the information of which you're aware, something to be used in a specific situation. One might say it's a product of schooling. Wisdom, on the other hand, is the ability to use that knowledge to make judgments and decisions. It's an intangible quality that you'll need throughout your journey. So my first point to you is to recognize that no matter what you know, you always need to know more. Seek out mentorships, whether they're formal or informal, with people whose careers that you know and respect. Like many leaders who began their careers before email, I may not know a tweet from a snap, or maybe even care. But my peers and I, we have institutional knowledge, experience, and importantly, the ability to help guide you through an increasingly complex social structure at the workplace. And we know how to spot and develop talented individuals. Sometimes a senior business leader recognizes good, sharp talent, even what may appear to be a fairly benign situation, and says, I've just got to have that person on my team. And yes, along the way, you're going to have to pay your dues. But in doing so with an open mind and an eye for the big picture, you never know when and whom you'll be making a good impression on. It's also important to know what you don't know, which is another way of saying you should be open to opportunities that may not seem obvious at first. For example, in my case, within a few years of joining the Coca-Cola system, I was offered a short-term assignment in Madrid, Spain. That led to future positions in Oslo, Norway, London, and as Ben said, the other Athens in Greece. Doing this, I gained an appreciation for the way business gets done across Europe and around the world, enabling me to see the cultural differences that have helped me better engage, understand, and work with my colleagues. And that was more than 25 years ago. Today's business world is even more diverse, and everything has international implications. Today, 1/3 of Terry students study abroad, selecting from more than 100 programs led by UGA faculty, ranking us 15th in the country in the number of students studying internationally. But even if you didn't get this opportunity during your time here at UGA, see if you can get involved with a job that allows you to work with colleagues from other countries, or possibly even travel abroad in your work. My international experience taught me that while you may know your plan, you should know that it will change, most likely several times. Consider what you want your long-term plan to be. And many of you may even have that plan all written out, and that's great. But write that plan in pencil. You simply have no idea the amazing opportunities that lie ahead of you and will avail themselves to you when you open yourself up to getting outside of your comfort zone. Your plan should not be set in stone. It should be malleable, and the most successful leaders re-examine their plan time and time again. One of the best ways to understand how your plan will change is to know yourself. Be passionate about your capabilities and your goals. Use them throughout your life, not just in your job. Because one of the most important things you can do is to take pride in your work. As it is often said, the secret to success is making your vocation your vacation. You need to enjoy what you do, even when it's not glamorous or may not seem all that important at the time. You see, life is simply too short to hate what you do for a living. Along those lines, know your blessings, but know that they come with responsibilities. Yes, this is similar to the "with great power comes great responsibility" lesson you may have heard, but it is truly the responsibility of successful people to give back. When I moved back to the States from my last assignment in Europe, I made it a point to increase my involvement with UGA and the alumni network. Since then, I've been fortunate enough to teach classes, speak on campus, and am now a trustee of the UGA Foundation. And I'm truly pleased that this increased involvement has allowed me to give back to the school that prepared me for the many opportunities that I've been fortunate enough to have. Even as recent graduates, you too can easily get involved in a number of ways. By participating in the Young Alumni Network, or Ben, by giving to the Building Terry campaign. And you mustn't forget the athletic department and those all-important football tickets now that you're no longer students. And once you begin your new jobs, you can work with graduating students by assisting with your company's recruiting efforts. As you can see, there are any number of ways to give back, whether it's with your time or your treasure. As a closing piece of advice, I'd say that the best thing you can do to grow, both personally and professionally, is to be true to yourself. Because while you think you have all the time in the world, this next decade is truly the most transformative and defining period of your life. Dr. Meg Jay, a professor, clinical psychologist, and author, suggests in her TED Talk that with all the 30 is the new 20 discussion that's prevalent today, that we trivialize this developmental sweet spot of your post-college, pre-management life. Your 20s, these next 8 to 10 years for many of you, are a time when things that you do and things that you don't do could have an enormous impact on your life. Maybe you'll meet your spouse or travel to places you never even thought possible. Whatever it is that you find exciting, wherever your passions get sparked, jump in with reckless abandon. Dr. J urges 20-somethings, and I quote, to get some identity capital, do something that adds value to who you are and something that's an investment in who you may want to be next. Personally, I'd paraphrase it slightly by saying, as you take time to find yourself, make sure you're someone worth looking for. So while you're making investments into whom you want to be, don't lose sight of the person that you've already become. Each of you has grown and accomplished an incredible amount. And as you leave here today, you'll start the next chapter in that journey. So go forward knowing that you have the talent and the ability, not just to participate in that, but to lead it. Good luck, congratulations, and go Dogs.
Thank you, Bill. I know that our graduates appreciate hearing from you today. You exemplify the concept of servant leadership that our graduates hope to practice upon their graduation. As a token of our appreciation for your participation today, I'd like to present you with this gift. Thank you.
Appreciate it.